Larry, tell me, what is Tell Me More?
Tell Me More, Barry, is a follow-up to Tell It to the King. A couple of years ago, I wrote Tell It to the King for Putnam. It was a runaway bestseller. I had a good time writing it. It was a collection of anecdotes about famous people, people I've known, people I've interviewed, people who I've intertraversed with in life. And these were basically, in the main, fun stories about these people, some serious. And the book did so well that the people at Putnam and my co-author Peter Occhiogrosso and my agent Sterling Law, they all got together and said we ought to do a follow-up. And the logical title was Tell Me More.
Now, you said in the book that there was a life experience or life and death experience that made you want to write again.
Yeah, I did. I had that 3 years ago. I had a heart attack in 1987 and subsequently heart surgery. And when you face that kind of thing, which is that your own mortality, there's a desire to really, Barry, want to leave more. I've created kind of a niche in broadcasting. I love what I do on television every night, on CNN, on radio, on Mutual. And I like writing for USA Today. I like speaking around the country. I like communicating. But there's something about a book. There's a permanence to a book. There's a feeling about a book that makes you, for whatever that's worth in mortality, a part of history. And that feeling's part of writing. There's a kick to it. There's enormous thrill to see a book come out. There's a personal sense of satisfaction to go through the publishing of a book, the changes that occur. The time delay, for example, this book was essentially done months ago. And now you're out talking about it. It's like when you make a movie and you're done and you're into your next movie and you're out talking about your last movie.
Yeah. Now, what does it feel like to be a star? I mean, you mentioned in the book when William Hurt at the broadcast news screening, told his girlfriend that, he had actually did know you. I mean, you're a star now in a sense. What do you feel like?
It's weird. It's a good question, Barry, because I didn't start out to be a celebrity. I started out to do radio and television because it's an industry I love, and I was lucky enough to have a talent to interview, and I was born with that. I don't take much credit for that. But I never thought I'd be a star. I thought I'd be someone who asks stars questions and who learns things about people, and that's what I still do. But in this age of People magazine and instant celebritydom, people become celebrities by the nature of the conduit. I mean, technically, a newsman, an interviewer, a host shouldn't really be a celebrity unless you're telling jokes, you're a comic, you're that kind of thing. But I'm basically going on the air asking people questions about what they do. That's what I do. And when you become a celebrity, it's kind of tough. It's unusual to deal with. It's not tough. But now you'd have to say it goes with the territory. You can't complain about it. That's the nature of the beast. It also is very rewarding. It leads to higher income. Celebritydom produces more attention. More attention creates more money.
Do you ever feel, or do stars ever come up to you very sort of angry because of you've basically exposed them in a sense? Like in the book you talk about Barbara Streisand. And, of course, she would love to have the image of being the nicest person on earth, but from what other people have told you, she's not.
Right. I have not had that. At least I have not been confronted by someone who said, why did you write that? In that case, my only experience with Barbara was fine. I interviewed her years ago in Miami. I had a very good interview with her. I remember her cockiness, the fact that she thought she was going to be a star. In Tell Me More, the instances relate to other actors and directors dealing with her and how difficult it was to work with her. But I also put in how Omar Sharif had a great time working with her and never had a problem. You try to be balanced. I haven't had much hostility from people, though. I think the stories are basically harmless. They're dealing with a side of people. I mean, I don't think Barbara Streisand would be surprised to learn that there are people in the business who regard her as tough to work with.
True. Do you ever have, a lot of people have the idea of any celebrity interview or just sitting down, talking, having a great time. What's it really like? I mean, what happens?
For me, it's all interviews. All interviews, whether it's the newsmaker, the senator, the athlete, the manager, the star, the lawyer, the architect, all interviews are there for one purpose, and that's to be informative and entertaining. My concept is to learn more about the person than I knew before I met them, and to hopefully, through me, provide you with an entertaining 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, etc. That you come away from it saying, gee, I didn't know that, I learned more than I thought, I like that person, I didn't like that person, I want to read that book, I don't want to read that book, and I was entertained. This was pleasant, diverting, interesting, informative. That's my role. I don't think about it any other way. It is not brain surgery. It's not changing the world. there are times it takes on an increased degree of importance. When you have a Persian Gulf and you're interviewing people who are involved in decision making in that Persian Gulf, you're a larger part of the story. CNN is part of this story. We're conduits in the story. We're being seen around the world. We're very aware of that. But once the light goes on, it's still Larry King asking questions of Alexander Haig.
Now, what about when you're not pulling anything from them? They won't give you what you want.
All you can do is all you can do. You do the best you can. If I don't want to tell you, you're not going to make me tell you. And if someone wants to sit there and if someone comes on and says, I do not want to discuss England, you could stand on your head if they don't want to discuss England. So all you can do is the best you can do. You try to be as good as you can be. As I said, you're not going to change the world. You're a professional. You hope to do the best you can. But I'm not, this is not a court of law. This is not a subpoena. No one has to answer a question. You're not going to be overruled or ruled in contempt of court if you don't. It's not a courtroom.
Are there any questions that you've wanted to ask people, but you feel that it might not be the best thing?
No, I'm not the kind of person who's interested in people's private lives. So I don't have that kind of curiosity to ask who someone was sleeping with or do you have a happy marriage. Those are things that don't. I'm interested in what they do, and as with regard to what they do, I've never been afraid to ask a question about what someone does.
Now you've got 4 books, is it, out?
Yeah, Tell Me More is the 4th.
And you've done, you've got CNN, you've got a column in USA Today.
Right.
What else is there to do?
And I do my radio every night. Well, we're going to do one other thing. I'm going to do some specials for TNT, interview specials, and I'm going to do a variety show for NBC that'll air on October 28th, and that's kind of a test show. And if it goes, it might be a regular show starting next year. The idea to bring variety back to television in very much a 90s style. I can't tell you more than that because they're going over how we're going to do it even as we speak.
Now, in your book, you mentioned that you did, of course, do Crazy People.
Yeah, I've done some movies. I've appeared in 4 or 5 movies. I'm going to appear in a Murphy Brown, and I like doing that. I've always been asked to play myself, and that's a kick. But basically, Barry, we're in on a pass here. I'm getting a chance to fulfill life's wishes. I'm communicating. I don't do any manual labor. I'm doing exactly what I like to do. Some days, you wish I'd taken on less of a load, but there's nothing I do I don't like to do. Life has been, for someone 56 years old, I'm at a really nice point in my life.
Does it feel strange right now to have the table turns where you're actually being interviewed?
No, I'm used to it because, when you read 4 books and I've been interviewed a lot, the only difference is the control factor. When I'm the host, I have control. When I'm not the host, you have control. And the control factor is something I'm very used to. I like the control factor, so it's just different not to have it, but I'm used to it.
What could you tell someone right now that would make them want to run out and buy that book?
Good question, Barry. You buy this book, you're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 hours of information, entertainment, laughs, a lot of fun. You'll tell your friends about it. You'll enjoy it. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. How many guarantees you got in life, folks?
I appreciate the time.
Thanks,
real quick,
Barry.
we can have you do a tag for the show,
Sure.
advertising your book, where you just say, "Hi, I'm Larry King. Join me when I'll be talking with Barry Blake," or something funny like
I got
that.
it.
Barry
Okay.
Blake will be talking to me about my new book, and just describe it real quick. Sort of like a 15-cent
Sure.
tag.
Okay.
Okay, let them get the position on the camera. Great, and at your leisure.
Hi, I'm Larry King. Join me with Barry Blake. We're going to talk about my new book, Tell Me More from Putnam. And I'm going to tell Barry a lot more. A lot more.